we have a little bit of a teleprompter scandal that's out there, and you saw the thumbnail. So let's jump in on this one and see what's happening out here. A Kamala scandal underway. She was there for a town hall with Univision. And as we see, there appear to be a couple of teleprompters for this very unscripted event where she's talking to people without a script. And what we'll notice here is text on the screen. And if you've ever done public speaking or seen anybody do any public speaking, you know that there's often some sort of control up front at the front of the stage where they have notes. There's a clock ticking. We're going to cut to commercial. You've got 5 seconds. It's Q&A, right? There's a timer. You can see it. If you have slides or something, you have your slide notes up there. And we're asking ourselves, what is this? What's going on right here? What's happening? Is she reading from a teleprompter? Is she getting her cliff notes thrown up on the screen for her with bullet points? And they're saying, obviously, no, I can't read this. I don't know if anybody can read it. Is it in Spanish? What's happening there? Is that in Spanish? I can't see it. Now, Forbes is reporting that this is just a bunch of right-wingers who are turning this into much ado about nothing. Hat tip over to Cliff Norman, who shared this story with us, and says, yeah, here's their take on it. Says this is misinformation because Forbes said so and because Lindsay Chu wrote it. She's a reporter. So let's see what they're talking about. They call it right-wingers. I wonder who those are accusing her falsely of using a teleprompter at an event. Let's see what they say. A video clip is now spreading around. A number of Republicans and right-wingers, including Sean Hannity, reposted a clip. Oh, he deleted it, saying Kamala's using a teleprompter. Benny Johnson is also reposting this. Univision, he said, accidentally posted about it. Now, the claim was debunked by who? The moderator, Enrique Acevedo, who is the guy who says, no, that's not true at all. Okay, the prompter displayed my introduction in Spanish, and then it switched to a timer. Okay, saying any claim to the contrary is simply untrue. And so let's see, can we read it? Can we see it? Turn it off. And I don't think you could see that, what that was. But it doesn't seem like he just gave an intro. It sounds like this guy also was standing up and asking a question. So was that Spanish? And why'd they panic shut that off right there at the very end? So you would think about if he just got up there and gave a speech, he did his opening, and then this guy's now asking a question. Wouldn't they have shut that off a long time ago? Why did they shut that off when the camera had it in focus? And the people who are there, right, they can't see that there's a teleprompter. They can't really see what that is. They just think it's a camera because it looks like a cameraman, right, from the side. That right there. It's got that big shadow box that is there. So what does it say? Do we have an HD version of that? Is it in Spanish? Maybe it is. I don't know. But here is what Forbes is saying. The former president of Univision also said it's not true. But Republicans and others are accusing her of this. Accuses Harris of using a teleprompter in a forum with Oprah Winfrey as well. But they said that no, there was no teleprompter there. So the story just continues on and on. They're going to deny it, obviously. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, we put her notes up there on the teleprompter. So they deny it, and other people are responding to it. In fact, here is this clip. Okay, we saw that. Let's listen to it one more time. Well, Republicans and Democrats are not okay. That's why your polls are in the garbage. So other people are talking about this. Now, Viva, our friend Viva, over there in Florida, says, look, I'm not calling you a liar, Enrique. Just trying to follow your explanation, right? If it's switched to a timer after the intro, then why wouldn't we see a timer there? Another good point. Did they put a clock up on the screen? I don't think so. Here's another angle, right? It's gone. They turned it off in the middle of a question. So I don't know what's going on. Here's someone else saying, all right, the last refuge says, okay, I've looked at the entire broadcast. Yes, there is a teleprompter script running at specific segments of the event, but no, not all the time. Now, the screen system shows a clock during questions that are general and easy to ad lib, emotional responses, feeling responses, etc. However, when the responses require specifics and citations or a more policy-focused approach, the screen turns to a script that she can read. Now, the camera moves around. Kamala is timed when it moves around, it's mostly showing the clock. However, as noted, there are a few moments when the script is visible. So here's the video where you can watch the transitions. And if you're over here, you can see, right? And the argument might be, maybe these are just some notes that she is, or they're trying to communicate to her. Okay. Cause so then here is, it looks like maybe there is a freeze it. See, that's the teleprompter monitor. And then that's just a piece of glass, right? So this is where it's actually projecting something. So that looks like that is maybe a timer, like a red timer that's going through. And then this guy, there's multiple questions that are asked. They keep the camera off that. So there was another, let's see, can we see that there? Not a lot. Trying to find some other moments in this evening. There's a side cam of Kamala. Ooh, close-up shot. All right, so here's another one. So is anything on that right there? Looks like that might be off right there. And then as we just scrub through this, commercial break, right? Is that a commercial break or is that the end of the event? Yeah, it looks like a commercial break there. So then maybe they're guiding her to the commercial break. There's plausibility that there's nothing there. There's nothing there right there, it looks like. Although if it's a black background with white text over the top of it, you wouldn't be able to really see that all that much. So let's continue to parse through this. I do have a couple of clips. There were some good questions that came up here. And I don't think this was a home run for her, even with a script. Okay, so there's a clock, right? So there's a clock. You see the clock is there. And at the very beginning, so that was the first question after the intro, presumably. No, because Kamala already gave her intro too, right? There's Kamala giving her intro. Let's see. This is the very beginning before the guy gets the question. Hard to tell if there's anything on there right there. It's at the very start. Still scrubbing through it. Let's see. Anything on there? Hard to tell. If you're looking at that monitor, really hard to tell there. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was notes there for her, was scripting there for her. Somebody, oh, see, there is something there now, right? What is that? So there wasn't, we couldn't actually even really see anything, but that's what we're talking about right there. So where did that come from? See that? That's the text. And it's down there at the bottom too. You can see it at the bottom. Text is still there. Text is still there. Text is right there. Boom. Oh, bad camera angle. Then it's deleted. Gone. And you can't see what that is. Is that Spanish? I'm sure somebody has a higher resolution photograph of that. Maybe it is in Spanish. But it's hard to believe that was his intro because they should have taken that off because then she gave her intro and then this guy's asking questions. So yes, forgive me if we don't take their word for it, right? No, there's nothing going on there. Forgive me if I don't take their word for it. So either way, I could see it going either way, but that is the scandal that is happening out there this morning. Now, regardless of the script, she got some pretty tough questions, including this one. This guy's saying, why the hell did you throw Joe Biden out there? He was the president, and you just came in and cooed him right over a bridge, Kamala.
Right now, leaning towards Trump, but I haven't made a decision. Mm-hmm. I'm also concerned about the way I feel President.
She was giving me a warning on this, so we'll pause it there. You get the picture. They are going to pull the stream as long as we're playing this, so you get the picture. She's doing her little rambling nonsense here, and great question from that guy. Hopefully, he doesn't appreciate that answer. And he continues to vote for Trump. So we're looking forward to that. There was another clip here, and this was an interesting one because this woman asked Kamala, I used to spend $250 a week on food, and now it goes up to $350. What are you going to do to try to help us? And she does the I'm from a working class crap again. So it was another interesting event. Now, long story short, not sure this is working out for her. She's trying to have some upward progress with the Latino community, and it's not working out well for them. You can see Politico's even reporting this. There's Kamala looking a little bit Kamala, who is now saying she's trying to win them over on the economy and the border, but she's flagging with Latinos. Now, during a town hall on Univision, the VP emphasized a humane pathway to earned citizenship for hardworking people. Amnesty, great. Harris has vowed to strengthen Joe's asylum crackdown at the border, which is wild. Where you been for the last 4 years? She hasn't committed to using the same unilateral authority, though, to offer a path to citizenship for millions of dreamers. Now, in a town hall hosted by Univision, she spoke forcefully about establishing a pathway to citizenship for hardworking people, but didn't offer up any specific policies for dreamers who've often been viewed and treated differently from other undocumented immigrants because of their circumstances. Now, they're sympathetic, though sympathetic. Now, Harris is still being tough, right? It's election season, so she's not going to give them much right now because then the Republicans will pick that up and use that against her. But after the election, of course, she'll come back out and she'll do what she truly wants to do, which is to grant mass amnesty to a ton of people to change forever the electorate and the demographics of the country to ensconce the Democrats in endless power for all times. So her remarks are a continuation of the moderation that Joe Biden has done for the election. But while Harris's numbers have greatly improved from Joe's, they have barely budged since entering the race this summer. The Latino reset we were hearing about in the summer is looking more like a return to the decade-long slide of Latinos away from Democrats. It's interesting. Are Latinos not interested in chopping their genitals off like the Democrats are? Do they want to go to war? Are they okay with their dollar also being debased? Do they also want their communities overrun by immigrants who are not Latinos, who are from hundreds of other countries around the world? No one wants to live in a country like that, no matter what your race is. Harris is wisely moved hard to the center on security and populist economic themes, even though they're responsible for the opposite of those. But the Democratic branding to Latinos on these issues over the past 10 years is proving a challenge to overcome. And do you think the Latinos want 9-month abortions? Do you think they're interested in that as a general population? Broad strokes. We're talking in broad generalizations, but just a question. It's a problem for Harris in Arizona and Nevada, two swing states where Latinos, support among Latinos is flagging, not looking good. But the Harris campaign continues to make appeals to Latinos. On Thursday, it launched Hombres con Harris effort. With events planned in Phoenix, Men for Harris. Oh, they're going to UN of Dallas, Las Vegas, Reno, Sparks, and so on. They'll feature members. I wonder who's going to show up to those. It's going to be hilarious. Digital creators, actors, and so on. And Harris, it's like men. How come it's not, wait a minute, this is weird. Why isn't it not Latino hombres con Harris? Why it's white dudes for Harris when it's white guys? But how come it's not Latino hombres con Harris? That's pretty racist. They should honor their heritage. And Harris, during a Thursday town hall, drilled into a litany of pocketbook for public policy issues. When you lift up a little bit of the weight, people thrive and we all benefit. You know how you lift weights off of people? Stop tacking them into oblivion. Stop spending so their dollar is inflated away. Stop engaging the United States in foreign wars endlessly. We're sick of it. All right, so they're having a tough time with hombres because hombres understand that Kamala is Kamala and no me gusta at all.